What is up, people? Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to more esports talk. As per usual, out there right now, guys, the hypocritical response has now been released by Blizzard. Actually, a couple days ago. It took me a little bit to think about this entire situation and all. If you guys do not know about the situation, well, you've been away for a few days. You should check it out on some videos out there. There are plenty to choose from, as it's actually Blizzard now reducing their ban on Blitzchung, the Hearthstone pro who spoke out on a Blizzard broadcast. He was actually going to receive none of his prize winnings, apparently $10,000 from the Grandmaster series. He will now receive that full amount. Alongside that, his sentence initially was 1 entire year ban from competitive play. A very steep ban out there, now been reduced to just 6 months, but it still leaves you wondering just why Blizzard, why have they been unfortunately enough a kind of a fall guy in this entire situation. We'll talk about that in a minute. Also, very lastly, those casters who did take part in the incident themselves have also been banned for 6 months. I will give credit to Blizzard where they keep it even for everyone being involved. If you guys did not know, apparently the casters were actually involved with Blitzchung. They made the choice to actually do that on broadcast, so I think it is pretty fair to actually give them all the same 6-month ban or punishment from, of course, the esport. Although when you think about it, it's just a pretty crazy statement in general. The fact that political speech, him saying liberate Hong Kong, got him a 6-month ban from his career. That's actually pretty crazy. If we've seen any other esports pro player out there, I try and think of a comparison, and you guys, of course, can think of your comparisons in the comment section down below. Imagine we have a pro player out there. He goes, free America, go Trump, or vice versa. He goes, go someone else, some other candidate, and free America. Is that worthy of a 6-month ban? No matter what controversy is going on politically, it's actually Blizzard themselves saying no matter what stance he did take, if he was going to speak politically either for China or against China, like he spoke to liberate Hong Kong against China, was his kind of his stance. They said either way they would have banned him in this instance. 6 months. No career for 6 months, no competitive play for that amount of time, just because of a few words in free speech. It's a very, very weird conflict. But I will say a note that not a lot of people are talking about is we have other developers out there, other big companies now getting ahead of this, and that's why I mentioned previously maybe the fall guy was Blizzard in the entire instance. They had a very subjective rulebook on screen for all of you, section 6.1, where they say engage in any act in Blizzard's sole discretion which brings you public disrepute or offends a portion of the group of the public or damages Blizzard's image. Well, that's actually pretty subjective, because whatever Blizzard sees as damaging themselves or actually offending anyone possible out there, any small group of people, no matter how small it might be, Blizzard can then, of course, put this punishment upon you, which they have. Now we have other developers out there, Riot being one of them. Riot Games, very well known in the gaming scene. They pretty much said, hey players, hey casters, let's just not do this, all right? Don't force our hand. Let's avoid the issue entirely. ESL, co-CEO, I do believe, also coming out about this. We'll have a video about that sometime soon as to exactly why these companies might be saying, hey, let's not talk about this stuff. Let's avoid it. Let's focus on the games, and let's not talk about political speech. It's a very fair statement to make, I do think, and Blizzard, unfortunately enough, I'll say it time and time again, unfortunately, they were the fall guy for this. They had a player do it first ahead of all these other developers out there who are now warning their players just to not say it at all. And Blizzard, I think they swung a bit too hard the first time, and unfortunately enough, when they try and subdue this message, they try and eliminate this message, they've actually spread it like wildfire. And it is kind of ironic in their own rulebook, section 6.1, where if you do damage Blizzard's image, they can punish you. And if there's one thing that Blitzchung has done, it's been destroy Blizzard's image. Not just hurt it, not just harm it. He has destroyed their image. So that punishment, I guess by the rulebook, is justified. I don't think it is, but ironic, isn't it? And here's where the hypocrisy does lie. We'll keep it short and simple. In their now released statement about this, props to giving him his prize money. He didn't cheat to earn the prize money. That's his money he did earn. He deserves it. Props to reducing his ban. I think it should be maybe a 2-3 month ban at the very, very max for what he did do. But we'll take it as we get it here, guys. Is the hypocritical post hypocritical? Which they do actually have in their statement about this. They say Blitzchung's views expressed on the matter were not a factor in his decision. Meaning, if he would have said free China, free Hong Kong, free anybody in this political instance, they would have banned him no matter what. But he did say free Hong Kong, and they said in their statement that was not the reason that for his ban. Now, why would they say that, though, if on the Chinese Weibo, I probably mispronounced that too, you guys know pronunciations are not my good thing over here, why then would they clearly state on the Chinese forum, where all of their player base, all of the community is, we will always protect, we will safeguard your national dignity, which we assume to be China? If he, as according to you guys, was not attacking them, and his Free Hong Kong statement was not the reason for his ban, why would you then go on the Chinese forums and say, hey, we will always protect you? He was not attacking you guys, all right? That's not the reason why we banned him, but we'll always protect you. It's very, very contradictory, and that's what people are kind of eyeing out about this entire response. Hey, by the way, we support free speech. We support the global voices out there. However, we don't. We kind of do. I don't know. It is a very tough situation. Do not get me wrong. I might be anti-Blizzard, or maybe it seems like that. I think they were put between a rock and a hard place. I think when it came time to banning him, they swung that hammer a bit too hard. Me and Zan talked about this on the podcast. If they would have banned him for a much lighter sentence, and at the same time also given him his earnings and just done things a bit differently, this would not have gone viral. At least I do not think to this level it has now taken off. It sucks to see a very subjective rule book out there, and now we see other big companies trying to get ahead of this and say, hey, we don't want to be the next Blizzard, so don't make us punish you. All right, just everyone avoid this. We'll avoid the issue that Blizzard has now run into, and I do really feel bad for Blizzard because this is a tough, sticky situation. I don't think any developer or big company, would have handled well. Maybe a bit better than Blizzard did, but hopefully in the future, I do agree to a certain extent with Blizzard. The fact is this: when it comes time for a forum, for an outlet, for a place to speak about your political views, a gaming broadcast is not the best place to do that, and it's very unfortunate it happened first on a Blizzard broadcast. This should be the end of the story, though. Blitzchung will be back in apparently 6 months' time. He gets his earnings back as well, and Blizzard becomes the hated person right now in the esports and gaming community, unfortunately enough. Until next time, I hope you guys all enjoy breaking down esports gaming news here every single day. I'll see you guys back here sometime soon. Take care of yourselves, all right? See you soon.